is created not from the first generation but until the third generation. That's why we are where we are now. Think of Nigeria. How many generations, how many people have been able to transit, entrepreneurship, businesses to the next generation and to the next generation. So until we are able, Papa, do this business, hand over to the son, do them, hand them over to the next one. That is when we wed. So some of us could be, we are test animals to test entrepreneurship and to test, word creation. So you may not be a millionaire by that business, but definitely you will survive. Your son or your daughter who will take over from you, will have a place to take over from. And he will use his own knowledge and his own technology and advancement to enhance it further. You grow gradually. Mercedes is the name of a person. Coke, we all know, is the name of a person. Do you understand? So we have to start somewhere, no matter how small. Then either we are able to scale it up, or our next generation will scale it up. But to refuse to start because we want to be like them is a wrong approach. Turning trends to impact. What am I saying? What are the current trends? Full science and technology. What are the trends that are available to us that we can turn trends into making impact? Pilot precision fermentation plant-based ingredient I mentioned. I say universities, research hubs take up locally relevant ingredients, starter culture, enzymes, proteins, and yeast for fermented food products. I'm giving you an expo. How many of us have seen Dadawa by Good? What have they simply done? Trends are changing. Ajinomoto came in with that Ajinomoto, and they had a lot of backlash here and there. But what have they done? They have simply called a couple of food science and technologies, and they look around and say, what can we do with what is local? These people are saying that we are bringing these chemicals from Japan to come and kill them here in Nigeria. So they went into our locals bin. It is Nigerian food science and technology guys, I know a couple of them, who studied the process of fermentation, and they have converted Dadawa into a stable spice that is beginning to gain market. So and you don't have to start looking at that your local government level. Let me give you an expo, because this is what I preach on a daily basis. We were hearing, when we were growing up, when we hear of Ethiopia, we hear of Sudan, we identify them with big heads. Yes or yes? We say they have big heads, they are marasmus, they are nutritionally deficient. Is it not so? But the good news is that today, Ethiopia, Sudan, Rwanda, these are people who have invested in food processing. These are people who have gathered their food science and technologies together, and they have created hubs. A hub, for instance, if in a particular locality, what they are doing there, they are farming on tomato, they will give you a charge. Go and develop a technology that will preserve that tomato. You preserve that tomato, process that tomato, and you know what? They will pay subsidy to the government. The government will pay subsidy to the farmers, and assure them that whatever is produced, they will buy all of it. In Ethiopia, in India, what they call it is MSP, minimum sellable price. In other words, at the beginning of the year, they will decide that for tomatoes, we are going to buy a ton for so price. So irrespective of what happens, the farmer is guaranteed that that tomato will be taken off him. And what do? They lift it off from the farmers, take it to the hubs where you have food science and technologies doing all their science there, preserving them, and they will keep them. What happens is that during the time of scarcity, government intends Now sell it back. You know, I tell people it's the Joseph principle in the Bible. You know, 7 years of famine and the 7 years of abundance. So in the 7 years of abundance, he was storing and storing. That system is being used now in Ethiopia. It's being used in Sudan. It's being used in Rwanda. It's being used in China to make, you know, food from in India, for instance, even fresh vegetables. You know them, they like all this green. They can't eat. In addition to processing, they also use IoT, IT of things, Internet of Things. They use it. So they connect the farmer to the consumer. So there are hubs that are demanding, okay, for on a daily basis, I will take 2 tons of tomatoes. I will take 2 sorts of green pepper. With technology, they factor it in. They adopt low-cost traceability, QR codes, IoT sensors in high-loss value chips, high-loss value chain, fish, meat, fresh produce, dairy. And this is where Nigeria suffers about 40% losses. Whatever we produce is lost. So all we need to do, why can't somebody just design an app? We've done a little bit of coding. We can, you know, traceability. Put this into an app such that, you know, your fresh tomatoes, you can monitor it, and the buyer can know. Number one, you know who the buyer is, you know where he is, and if you go to the civilized world, that's what you see. When you go around their groceries, you see every vegetable is tagged. It's tagged. The date is there when it is expiring. And you know what they do? Once it is about close to expiration, they withdraw them. They withdraw them. If it is a snack that will last 2 weeks to, what do? They take it to back. That's what they call food banks. You see, what the world has used is just simple sense, common sense. Although fellas say not common. So they have food banks. They also do it in India, so that the poor who cannot afford that meal, where instead of that in line, they pick it off them and they call it food bank. They give them cards. You just march in there. They do it for the aged. They do it for the young. They do it in places like Canada. When Nigerians run there as immigrants and they are hungry, they will put them 3 months steadily. They were distributing food door to door. Do they produce more than us? No. But what they have just done is that they have applied that technology to know who is producing. Make sure you take it off him. It is not suffered a loss. Who needs it? Take it to him. Who needs it? Take it to him. Charge him a token. Where they have social security, charge him a token. Where they have social security, it's even free. God will help us. Also, move to the next slide. Nigeria. I say research outputs not moving beyond journals. Research outputs not moving beyond journals. All we do is we write and write and write, in fact, to receive promotion. And what promotion are we? From a 0 to a 0 level. Because what is a doctor earning? What is a professor earning? So many. And I'm not meant to be derogatory. 400,000, 500,000, 600,000. So they will be writing these papers to move from one stage to another within that same thing. Weak linkages between academia, industry, and government. There is a weak linkage. We are all operating in silos. Limited funding for scaling prototypes to commercial production. All those researches that we are doing, those projects you are doing, they are prototypes that anybody can blow up. But what do we do with our researches? It ends up in our file. Now to get my degree, I don't make third class. I've made first class. I've made this one. That is where it ends. Whereas that project is a gold mine that you are sitting on. Regulatory and quality compliance hurdles. I don't want to talk about this one now, because each time I talk about it, I enter into trouble. But the sad thing is that the regulatory agencies are part of this NIFST. The research institutes are part of this NIFST. Is it not so? How well do they cooperate with the SMEs for us to be able to scale up? I have an idea now, and I want to do something. I want to do something. You know what it will take me? They will come in and say, the minimum is a 2-bedroom flat. You partition it this way. You partition it this way. Let me shock you. Some of the items that you buy from China, you buy from Italy, you buy from Germany, if you go to where they are producing it, you won't believe it. You see wines everywhere, South Africa, Spain, and all those ones. They are more or less like family business elsewhere. The farmer who plants his grape, he's the one who will harvest the grape. You know, there is this festival that goes on in Canada. I said, for once, let me just go. They will take you around all the wineries. The biggest of the biggest is not even half of your factory in Otta. But maximum utilization. And I ask myself, if I want to set up a wine industry in Nigeria now, will I pass GMP? Will I? Because they will want me to have heaven and earth. They will want me to have heaven and earth to be able to move forward. Maybe after this one. You know, sometimes when you speak truth like this, in the Lagos chapter, I once said something like this. And anyway, make una congratulate me. A product I started registering in February this year. NAFDA just gave me the number this morning while I was on my way. You know, like I said, I'm trying to encourage each and every one of us. You sitting there, you have the skills. All you just need to do is ask yourself, what are the valuable skills that I can commercialize? We are waiting for government. We are waiting for government. The stories I'm telling you now is that for every developed industry, it started from family industry. It started from family factories. That is the way, and they keep scaling it up. That is the way, and they keep scaling it up. So don't sit down on the potential. I have taken a stand. So I will not only display the books I have written, I will also sell my product that NAFDA has just given me the registration number. Do you also sell my product that NAFDA has just given me the registration number? Do you understand? Let us, for those of us who are employed persons, no insult is meant. You can hardly survive in a country. No insult is meant. You can hardly survive in a country like Nigeria with one stream of income. So no matter what that business is, think about it. It will be an addition to the salary that you are making. And I teach my people, when we say we are not financially literate, most of us, we read, is the biggest problem we scientists have. We are full of ourselves. You know, I read physics, electronics, chemical engineering, this. You understand? If you don't pass maths, hard maths, physics, you can't read that course. Who will help when you come out? Who will help? Are able to apply it. I say, yes, your technical skill is powerful, but it is only when it is productive. And you can. With your knowledge, you can become a consultant. You can begin to gather younger generation and be mentoring them and be speaking to them, coaching them, using yourself as an example that they don't make the mistake you made. That's the way life is. Low visibility of Nigerian innovations in global markets. Low visibility. You can hardly count on, how many of our Nigerian products are valuable at the global market. You know the shocking thing? When you are in a developing nation, the income at the disposal of people is limited. So your business is also limited. How far you can grow is limited by the economy of the nation. In other words, you cannot be a millionaire in a poor country. It's difficult. You can, but you have to sweat it out. So, scientists, think of your product. As you are designing your product, have the global market in mind. Have the global market in mind. The product that I said that I just got the number this morning now, I have orders in Canada. I have orders in UK.